All right, Pisces. I am back to do a pick a card reading for you guys for each zodiac sign. So we have pile number 1, which is the Egyptian tarot. Then we have pile number 2, which is the manga tarot. I'm going to give you guys a second to pause and pick which deck you want to choose. If you guys need a second longer, go ahead and pause the video. All right, those that have chosen pile number 1, what changes are coming into my Pisces life at this time? And I'm sorry guys, I am a little sick, so I might sound congested or clearing my throat a lot, but please bear with me here. All right, so we have the 7 of Chalices. We have the Hierophant. We have the 5 of Swords. The 7 of Wands. We have the Knight of Chalice, the 8 of Swords, the 5 of Cups, the King of Pentacles, too many cards, but I have a feeling that it's a side message. I don't know why. But I feel like for a lot of my Pisces, some of you guys are going to get over hurt and disappointment. I feel some of you are going to be gaining this clarity of why this had to happen, because it made you a stronger person. It pushed you guys to see your limits and to see where your strengths and weaknesses were and how you can build upon these issues. I feel a lot of you guys have had a hard time letting this go, though. And I feel like there's this discouragement that you felt and this lack of control in your life that I think has led a lot of you guys to not really be expressive fully to your ability, not being able to go out and get what you want. It's almost like you hesitate a lot to go after your goals or the things that you know that will make you happy. And I think a lot of it is due to this misconception that you're not going to be able to get what you want anyways. There's this sense of, it's kind of similar to Aquarius's, where it's like that disappointment energy. But I have a feeling that a lot of you guys are going to be moving past that issue. So I just felt like I needed to voice that. But yeah. And that's what I'm seeing here. There's some kind of choices that are being made here that are going to change the outcome of this situation. I feel like we have the 3 of Wands, the 4 of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Pentacles. So towards the end, things started to get very physical, essentially, because of all the pentacles that I am starting to see. It's like you have 4 cards lined up for the pentacles, and I feel like, again, there is this sense of lack, injustice, or something that was unfair in your life that is starting to kind of move through a little bit here. And I feel like it has something to do with like maybe a third party or some kind of situation, but it led a lot of you guys to feel this this sense of not having the faith in yourself that you can accomplish this, that you could overcome this. It's almost like this situation could have hurt your ego, could have, there we go, that's better, could have affected the way that you view yourself. I'm getting, for some of you guys, some of the issue that you're experiencing at this time is a sense of shame for whatever has happened in your past. A lot of you guys, when you make a decision, you start to second guess yourself on that decision. And it's because of that emotional, there's that part of you that's very emotional when you're trying to decide what you're going to do. And you're afraid you're going to make the wrong decision. A lot of you guys have stayed in these thinking patterns, feeling kind of stuck and stagnant. I think a lot of signs have felt this way. Yeah, see, it feels like it's been like a whole turning you upside down, feeling like you have to accomplish things on your own. I think some of you guys are afraid to tell people your struggles and what issues you're going through at the time. So what I'm really starting to see here with a lot of my Pisces is, what are you going, it's like this sense of what am I going to do with myself? There's some kind of, like, some of you guys agreed upon something and then second guessed it later. It's like maybe you meant to say no when you should have, it's almost like a part of you said yes when you knew you should have said no, kind of a dilemma. And a part of you doesn't want to take back what you have already committed to, but a part of you doesn't want to continue with that commitment or continue with whatever it is that you agreed on. You don't want conflict with others, so a part of you still just kind of kept quiet, right? And just kind of, even though I felt like it was draining you, even though I felt that it was a waste of your time, you still was afraid to say no to somebody or to reject somebody. So there's this part of you that is, it's almost like you have, maybe, Pisces, a little bit of that people-pleasing mentality where you say yes when you mean to say no. There's like this boundary where I think some of you feel very guilty if you hurt other people's feelings. There's this part of you that is very aware of other people around you. And so for a lot of you, you don't want to upset anybody. You want to kind of keep the peace, but that's not bringing you healing. That's not what's giving you what you need. And I feel for a lot of you guys, you've been so taught at such a young age to push down your own feelings or to not acknowledge them, that now it's like you have to go back inside of yourself to relearn who you are, to relearn how to communicate with your feelings again. Like you need to sit down and say, oh, I'm experiencing grief right now. Some of you guys, you don't know what it is. You'll just sit down and you'll feel like you want to run away. There's this sense of anxiousness when it comes to having to sit still with yourself. And I feel that that is kind of what it's been trying to get you to do this whole time. And I feel like you make commitments with people that that aren't really there or helping you at all. And I think that that's another issue that some of you guys are experiencing. And so I feel like for some of my Pisces, what changes are coming in is having a more firmer sense of boundaries, having to set boundaries with people, and how to redefine how you believe boundaries are. Some of you guys have a belief that a boundary is like having a wall between you and this person, that you guys cannot connect anymore. And that is not true. That's a false sense of boundaries. That's what we do when we're injured and we try to protect ourselves. We put up these walls. Boundaries can be flexible. Boundaries can be soft. Boundaries can be understanding and kind. You know, you don't have to put up a brick wall in front of you and another person. You could put like a silk curtain or something, right? Like imagine that boundaries have limits. Some people you need to have firmer boundaries with, while others it's not as serious or it's not as bad, or you still can have that intimacy with one another, but hey, I am still me and you are still you. It's kind of having that healthy sense of self to where you're not losing yourself in every connection or every person you come to. So I feel like what a lot of you guys are going through is don't abandon yourselves. And that's the key thing that I'm learning here about what you guys are going through at this time is you have to stop abandoning yourself for the sake and happiness of others, because it's leaving you unfulfilled, and it's making you wonder, like, the stuff that you're planting, the seeds that you are growing is not going to be what you want. It's not going to come into into what you are hoping. It's like you are needing to learn to look at what you might lose, look at the situation for kind of what it is. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's this self-abandonment. It's this belief that you are not lovable. There's a part of you that you've tried to let go of yourself, that it is some kind of emotional need. There's something there. Some of you guys maybe are afraid to be considered needy, right? I get this sense of needs being a huge factor in your decision makings. And I feel like a lot of you guys, you have never got your needs fulfilled in certain ways. And so you pretend, and I'm not saying that now, this is something that I've really learned recently as well, is, there's a difference between being kind and being nice. And I feel like a lot of you guys, you want to be perceived as nice, you want to be perceived as good. Everybody does. But what happens is being nice is not being authentic. Being nice is kind of just putting a smile on your face, and there's always some kind of hidden agenda to it. And I don't think any of you guys are conscious of it. A lot of the times it's not conscious. I think some of you guys subconsciously have developed this some form of manipulation with those around you so that you can get an emotional need met, but you're not consciously aware that you were doing that to people to get that need met, because that's what happens is we have to get needs met. And so if we block out those needs and say, oh, that need doesn't exist, I don't have that need, then subconsciously we're going to have to find a way to bring that back into, because it's a need, it has to get met. So it's going to have to come back again and find a way to come back up to the surface and get that need met. And so it'll come out in passive aggressive ways. It'll come out in manipulative ways that can harm ourselves and others, and really could put a damper on our relationships, when all we need is to have true open communication and boundaries to where certain people can and cannot come to certain, like for instance, if somebody wants you to go out and hang out and you feel sick or you feel tired, say no. That is a boundary. That is a barrier. That doesn't mean that you're a bad person, and how that other individual reacts is not your fault, and you can't control others. And so I think for some of you, it's that fear of what others are going to say and what others are going to think. Like, you don't want to be perceived as a bad person, and I'm not getting that you are, Pisces, but there is a difference between kindness and nice. And kindness is, I'm not expecting anything from you, but I'm just doing the act of kindness because I have my cup overfloweth and I can give you something. That's a sense of true kindness, and that is better than niceness, which niceness is, it's got that yucky expectation attached to it, right? It's got that I have to get this done kind of a vibe. And so I feel like that is something that is kind of coming up to the surface for a lot of you guys, so that this need can finally get met, so that you can finally stand in your power and be able to actually communicate with other people, so you're not wasting others' time, you're not wasting your own time. You're able to start being able to figure out what you want, because for a lot of you guys, you've been stuck for a while contemplating what you need, what you want, and you feel like you've been stuck not going anywhere in life. And the reason a lot of you guys have had these issues is because a lot of you guys are trapped in acts of service for others due to the own detriment of yourself. And so a lot of you guys are needing to see what is right for you. Who is it that makes you feel drained every time they come around? Like, pay attention, because I feel like a lot of you guys have ties to this niceness that you are carrying. And like I said, I believe that a lot of you guys have a lot to offer people. And I think you guys are very kind and generous people. But again, there is this sense that It's like you are needing something from others. And I think that's what's interfering with the way that you work with others, the way that you actually are productive in life. Because if we're not getting our full needs met and we're just trying to get through the day to get those needs met, and we're doing it in little subconscious ways, it drains our energy, it drains us around. And again, when we also act like when others ask for help and then we gladly assist because we want to be kind and nice, but unfortunately it's a detriment to us because say we don't have the time, something's not working for us, and then to have you put yourself out there like that, constantly helping others but not helping yourself, not getting what you need done first so that you can help others, you guys are being drained and that's wearing on you. And I feel for a lot of you guys, that's where the feeling tired, feeling the disappointment, feeling like you're not going to get the justice that you want and need, especially with those around you, it's because you're not being authentic to who you are. You're not telling people what you actually need, and that is why you are getting this because maybe back then when you were younger, you weren't allowed to tell people what you wanted or what you needed. But now that you're a lot older and you're around different people, you have different experiences. Now it's a lot safer for you. Plus, you're more of an adult. What's the worst case scenario? Somebody says no to you, then you could always get that need met by yourself some way or find someone else who is willing to help you fulfill that need. But to be able to be consciously aware of our needs is so important. It's one of the first steps and actually becoming more self-actualized, and to be able to say, okay, this is who I truly am and I understand myself more. And we understand ourselves more by our core needs, what we need emotionally, physically, mentally. And when we're able to voice that and to communicate that and to set boundaries with others, not only will we be more magnetic and more attractive, and will attract the people and the things to us, but also we won't be abandoning ourselves every time we get into a connection or every time somebody asks us for something. We don't just abandon our situation or what we're going through to go help someone else. And I feel like that is what is changing in my Pisces life. And I feel like it's going to be huge. So let's see, what is the karma here for my Pisces? We're going to pull some karma cards. Just kind of see what's being highlighted for you guys at this time. Ooh, did you see that? It's almost like you guys felt so unstuck, and I feel like it's just kind of gonna fly out, right? A lot of you guys, it's like you guys are kind of kicking that to the curb. You're no longer going to be connected and tied and stuck to these beliefs, to these ways of people pleasing that you were taught at such a young age. So we have here the Sun card. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to become more creative. You guys are going to be able to inspire people even. Once you start getting out of this people-pleasing mentality, people are going to start having more respect for you. You're going to start carrying yourself a little differently. You're going to start noticing that people are going to want to do more stuff for you instead of you always doing things for others, and then it ends up not working out for you. Because say, for instance, you help friends all the time, and then when you need help, they're never around, or they're always coming up with some kind of excuse to why they can't help you. And it's almost like they have boundaries to some extent, but like you're always asserting yourself, you're always putting yourself out there, you're stretching yourself too thin for other people that don't even appreciate it. And I feel like a lot of you guys are aware of that, and so you're going to put an end to that, which is going to help you find people that are going to be willing to put that and meet you halfway, right? So we have Uranus. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to have unusual circumstances or certain things that will kind of come up to make you kind of stop and pause and see what's going on in your life. Because I feel like you guys are going to get a lot of changes that are coming through that are going to make you wake up and say, I'm done. I don't want to be a people pleaser anymore. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And it's almost like you're so tired for everything that you've done and gone through that it just causes you to feel stuck. It causes you to feel like you're not where you want to be, and it's always because there's that part of you that wants to just be acknowledged and seen for the things that you do, but you're giving it to the people that don't appreciate it, or the people that don't even want the help, right? Some people don't even want the help, but we're just so eager to be so nice and so willing to help them, and a lot of them like where they are, or even if they don't like where they are, they're not willing to change that. And so sometimes we have to accept where other people are, right? So we have here the North Node. A lot of you guys are moving into the benefits and the success of your life. I feel like once you guys stop people pleasing and stop, again, putting yourself last instead of first. And, that doesn't mean that we have to be selfish. But it's good to have a little bit of that narcissism. We all have healthy narcissism as well as toxic, right? We can take things to the extreme. But to say, no, I don't feel good today, I'm going to put myself first, right? That is what we need to do. And for a lot of you guys, I feel like that's something that has been coming up. It's like, listen to your body, listen to the things that are coming up, because I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're going to get out of that comfort zone. Life right now is going to shake you guys up so that you get out of that comfort zone, so that you can actually go after what you deserve and go after the things that you want. And I feel like when you stop people pleasing, people are going to get mad. People are going to get upset because you're giving them free things. You're giving them things that they want or need. And when you stop, people are going to get upset about that. But that's not your problem, Pisces. You got to do what's best for you, right? Especially because this 8th house is coming up. And I feel like with the 8th house there, it's all about Scorpio, right? So it's getting to learn the depths of you. I feel like a lot of you guys, you've had issues with people dying in your life. You've had a lot of losses, or you feel this deep sadness. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you've always tried to be very good to others and be there for everyone else around you. And I feel like that is starting to wear and tear on you. Like it's keeping you guys feeling so stuck. And now you're processing all of this. And I feel like a lot of you guys are going to start to wake up to see who is actually supportive for you and who is just using you or wanting you around because of that people-pleasing mentality, right? So at the bottom, we have Libra. So it's all about that decision making and that balance. A lot of you guys, when you make decisions that require you and another person, there's a way that you can do it. You can think about what you want, what you need, and then you can think about how that would feel to have it, right? And then you can stop and then think about the other person second and say, well, I can upset this person, I could hurt this person, especially if it interferes with that person's life, right? But you need to think about them. But then you got to tell them what you feel, what you want. Because when you don't give people the full facts, when you withhold back parts of what you need and want, you're robbing others to not only step up and actually help you, or to actually show that they care or to be there, or you're robbing them of the choices and the decisions that they have too with their own free will, whether or not they want to stick around. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, that is something that you're needing to process, is you're afraid of that abandonment. So you become so nice and so caring to others. But what's the issue is you're abandoning yourself, so others will eventually abandon you too, because there's that energy there. There's that magnetic energy that you're feeling. I feel like you're mirroring back to people, abandon me. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel love. And it's not like you're consciously doing that. And I think that wound has been carrying around for you for most of your life. And it's been a very painful one. And I feel like that is what's finally starting to change and shift in your life. So let's pull the last deck here. This is the Chakra Oracle Insight deck. Let's see what needs to be healed, or let's just see what's, coming up for you guys at this time, what's being activated. Yeah, see, we have here, okay, so we have the base chakra. So a lot of you guys, you don't feel loved. You don't feel supported. There's a part of you, again, that feels that if you, you have to think too, our ancestors, if we were rejected or if we were abandoned, that could lead to death. And so our nervous system, our reptilian brain is still operating in that belief system. And so for a lot of you guys, you've had people where you've had close loved ones to you pass away or people abandoning you, and you could have had an absent parent. There's something there where you have felt that it was not safe, and so you had to abandon parts of yourself to stay alive. I feel like this is very primal. This is something that has been you're afraid that if you insert yourself or if you tell people like it is, that you're going to be left alone, and that is essentially death. That's what it feels like every time somebody leaves our life. We feel this emptiness, we feel this dying inside, and it's because our brain still associates being abandoned as dying. And we also have here divine consciousness. So a lot of you guys are getting insight and awareness. And as I say that, there's the insight card at the bottom. I feel like a lot of you guys are experiencing messages, things that are coming into your reality to get you to change these beliefs, to get you to change this behavior. And I feel like that is what is being shown, and that's what's being processed. So I feel like a lot of you guys, your intuition is on point. You're getting the messages, but you need to be able to focus on that. I feel like what's being changed for a lot of you guys is you're healing that heart chakra. You're finally going to forgive people and situations and circumstances, but more importantly, yourself. You're going to start appreciating yourself and not abandoning yourself as much. I feel like for a lot of you guys, to insert yourself, to be more willing to work through these obstacles and these issues that you're experiencing, requires that willpower, that expansion, that expressiveness. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you are developing that sense of self-control. You're developing into who you truly were meant to be, Pisces, by being true to yourself, by not abandoning yourself. And I feel like that's what's going to bring back passion and that connection. See, a lot of heart chakra activations coming up in this time. And that's the changes that are coming, is you guys are going to develop new connections with people, or at least the connections of the people around you are going to start to develop stronger, because again, there's not that fakeness. There's not that, please love me, I'll do anything for you to get that love and approval. Don't abandon me. Instead, you're going to say, I love myself. I approve of myself. I don't need to be a people pleaser. I can assert my boundaries, but be still kind about it. Be still loving about it. Tell my partner, actually, that really upsetted me the other day, that I felt that you were trying to be out there to hurt me, but that's how I felt. And then allow the other person to express themselves and to leave that openness. And you could tell that that's still a boundary. You're still inserting how you're feeling. You're still communicating to people what you're experiencing, but you're giving them that space to do the same. And I feel like the way that you're going to communicate, the way that you're going to connect with others is going to change based on how you deal with that fear of that abandonment, that fear of being alone. We also have guidance. So that's what I'm saying. You guys are being guided. You guys are being supported. There are things that are coming up, again, that is trying to get you to expand the way that you believe. It's like your belief systems are changing. And I feel like you're being guided throughout this craziness that you guys are going through at this time, so that you guys can ultimately get down to what will make you truly happy. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're just a decision away. You're just one choice away from actually giving yourself the change and the chance that you deserve. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to start having more free time, more courage. You guys are going to be able to start creating what it is that you want, because I feel like what was holding you back from choices was the fear of what others will think, or was the fear that others are going to abandon you or reject you because of your decisions or what it is that will make you happy. And so I feel like a lot of you guys just kind of went with the flow with other people, and now it's that time of being honest. And I feel like once you guys are becoming more honest with yourself, you're going to become more compassionate to those around you and their feelings even. But I feel like it's that sense of personal boundaries and that empowerment. And I think that's what's being ultimately healed, as well as that sacral chakra, not sacral, your solar plexus, maybe your sacral too, but your solar plexus is also being highlighted by the choices, the decisions that you make, what will bring you happiness, and how you're going to communicate with others and go forward with others. And I feel that you're going to find a better balance in a more of a way, instead of allowing others to take advantage of you and then you becoming resentful later on. A lot of you guys are going to say, no, I don't like it when you do this, can you not? And explain, and sometimes you don't even have to explain yourself, but if the person feels like they need that explanation, like if they ask, well, why does that? Sometimes, being open and honest with, well, this always bothered me and I've always had an issue with this and that. Sometimes being vulnerable and just communicating your wants, your needs, and your desires is what's going to give those people around you, again, that opportunity, chance to show, Pisces, I love you and I care about you. And you're going to know, again, who's right for you and who's not by inserting these boundaries. And yeah, I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's like, don't be afraid to go after what it is that you want, because I feel like you guys are going to start finding that joy again in your life that I think a lot of you has been so desperately craving. But you're also going to feel better ultimately about yourself, because you're going to feel like you have the right to make those decisions and choices, which you do, but you don't always have to worry about how others are going to think and react and how they're going to feel, because we can't control other people at the end of the day, but we have to do what's best for ourselves, because no one else will. And so I feel like for a lot of you guys, that's the habit you're breaking. So you're going to start forming stronger bonds. You're going to start becoming more aware of what you want to accomplish on your path, on your journey, because when we are always worrying about other people, we're not focusing on our own path and our own gifts and our own journey and who we are, and people are missing out. You're robbing people of who you truly are, Pisces. And so I feel like that's something that is kind of coming to an end here, is a little bit of that people-pleasing mentality, which I am so happy to see for a lot of my Pisces. So hopefully this resonated for you guys. But yeah, you guys leave a comment below or subscribe. Everything helps. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Thank you so much, Pisces. Bye. All right, the Pisces that are chosen, pile number 2. What changes are coming my Pisces way? We have the Hanged Man. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Devil. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Queen of Coins. The Knight of Swords. The Ace of Coins, the High Priestess, the Ten of Swords, the Page of Cups, the Eight of Coins, and we have the Six of Coins. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Coins. So for some of my Pisces, I am getting a little bit of deceptive energy at this time for you guys. Something I feel like is being hidden from you. I think you're dealing with some people that are not being completely honest with you. But I just keep getting this sense that there's something that you did see, and I wonder if this is like this sense of betrayal. It feels like betrayal, like you trusted this person or you trusted these people, and it led to disappointments and eventually you having to move forward. But I feel that this had cost you greatly, and then this caused you to also close off to others and not wanting to give to anybody after this because you've been so damaged and hurt that a part of you felt like you can't move forward, and that is something that is dissipating. For some of you guys, I feel like this was the past, and I think some of you are afraid that that's going to repeat because you guys haven't fully processed or let go of a past betrayal or a past misunderstanding for some of you, but it feels like something that ended in a abrupt way or in some way. I think some of you guys never got the full closure that you would have liked with this individual. For some of you guys, this could have been like a third party or even a friendship could have gotten involved. This feels like a romantic relationship or just like close friends, but it just kind of felt like something, like the dynamic change was with other people, dealing with other things, like what other people are, like I feel like somebody else got involved is what I'm trying to say. And for a lot of you guys, this really shook the foundation of what you believed that the situation was going to be. So it really messed with your sense of self and your own well-being. I'm kind of getting this vibe that for a lot of you guys, you felt like you couldn't truly open up or be what you wanted, like this connection you felt trapped in. For some of you guys, I get this feeling that you could have had a friend, or like this could have been like a friend that involved in this connection with you and a partner, but I feel like there's a partner involved, somebody that you were with, like romantically, and somebody else did not like it, and I felt like they kind of got interfered. Now this could have been like a parent, this could be a job, this could be friends, this could be somebody that, like, you know, that had a crush on your partner or you or something and caused this rift. But I'm getting that there was interference in the past with other people, and I feel like for a lot of my Pisces, you're afraid that the past is going to repeat itself, because I feel like for some of you guys, you might be coming into a new connection, or maybe you've been afraid to go out there with people and to date and to go out and, you know, just be who you want to be, due to feeling like this is going to repeat itself. Because I'm getting the sense that you dealt with people that played unfairly, or just people around you that could have lied to you or your partner, could have caused a lot of conflict and a lot of basically not knowing where you stand with your partner and everyone else around you, because it just felt like people got involved. It felt like they and it made you feel stuck. It made you feel powerless. It made you feel like you couldn't control your partner's reactions to it too, because some of you guys, maybe what hurt the most was that your partner believed them. They believed the lies they could have said about you or about this connection, like there's something there. And you also felt like, you know, that's what caused this to not work. And a part of you, like I said, is now afraid of letting that go, because people could have lied to you or your partner, or could have said things, done things, and it's like now you're looking back at this and you're realizing like you need to just be kind of careful who you surround yourself with. I feel like, again, this sense of betrayal, but trying to learn to walk away from it. Some of you guys have stressed about this, wanting justice, because you want this person to see you in a different way. It's almost like you felt like you were wrongly accused or wrongly judged, and you wanted to work this out, and you've waited and waited, but it felt like it never worked out or never balanced out, and some of you guys have just decided that it just wasn't going to happen anymore, and so you wanted to move forward in your life. Because I feel like for a lot of you guys, I think a lot of people have felt very stagnant in their life. I think that's just a theme that's going around in like every zodiac. But I feel like what is happening for you guys is you're getting out of this afraid to date or afraid to put yourself back out there again, or just to basically let go of this sense of betrayal that you've experienced throughout your life or throughout this situation. And I'm getting that for a lot of you guys, you learned what that lie was, you learned about the truth, but in the end, I feel like for a lot of you guys, it was kind of a blessing in disguise, because you were dealing with somebody that even though you liked and cared for them, they were not right for you. If they didn't see the true you, if they believed other people over you, they had some sense of doubt about this connection. And so now you can kind of see that, maybe it was a good thing that things worked out the way that they did. And so I feel like for a lot of you guys, once you're getting over that emotional hurdle, that emotional issue that you're experiencing, it's causing some of you guys to kind of see things differently, to acknowledge that in the end, it's almost like you're going to find somebody better than what this situation was. But again, it's that fear of that repeat. And I think that for a lot of you guys, I just get this feeling that this individual, they said things, done things that were really hurtful, that was unfair, and it caused you to kind of wonder like what might be wrong with you almost at one point. So a lot of you guys, you have, even though I think a lot of you deep down inside knew that something wasn't right when you were in this connection, there was that part of you that still continued to move forward anyway, despite feeling or seeing those red flags. And I think that's why a lot of you guys beat yourself up and continue to stay in this torment, is because a part of you feels like you deserve it, instead of walking away and forgiving yourself and acknowledging that maybe you just you had either other insecurities, or you just felt so alone. So I think for a lot of you guys, that torment and that turmoil, it's like you go back and forth, and it's almost like it's causing you to kind of slip into that victim mentality when we feel like we've been so wronged. And I'm not saying that you haven't been wronged, but it's when we hold on to that we start to identify with that part of ourselves, and that is only one fragment of who we are. And I feel like a lot of you guys, you have been in that state of not moving and not going anywhere because of that victim mentality of what this lover, or what this, if for some of you guys it could have been a friend that cheated on you with your partner. There's some sense of betrayal. There's something there that has caused some of you guys to have a rift in your connections, or to cause you to withdraw or not want to date again due to that pain. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, that is what is coming up and changing, is that victim mentality, that lack mentality of feeling like you're going to continue to be cheated on or continue to be hurt again. And it's like you're so afraid to put yourself out there, because why put yourself out there if it's gonna come back to you again and hurt you all over? And so a lot of you guys stopped trusting other people. You stopped seeing the good in others. Some of you became a little cynical maybe. And I think a lot of you guys, you hated that side of yourself that felt that betrayal, that felt that cynicism, that felt like you could not just be, you didn't want to be cynical, you didn't want to swear off love, but there's this part of you that was so hurt that, like, there's a party that wants to be loved, wants to be seen, wants to be acknowledged, and then there's a party that's so hurt that you want to withdraw and not be acknowledged, not be seen, because that part of you is so afraid that if you get acknowledged and seen, that you're just going to get injured again. And so you're trying to protect yourself, and for a lot of you guys, that's what's kind of getting pushed out, is having to let go of those insecurities that come up, because some of you guys might have already been getting into partnerships, and you're starting to see that you're almost slipping back into that behavior or that belief that something bad's going to happen. It's almost like you're waiting to catch your partner to cheat, or you're afraid now and you want to look through their phones. It's almost like there's a part of you that's afraid to fully trust again. And I think it's because a lot of you guys couldn't even trust yourself. You thought, well, how can I trust others if I can't even trust myself because I made the wrong judgment of who I thought was good for me? And so it's like you're perpetuating that victim mentality and that feeling like you deserve to be punished, or like you deserve that this happened to you. It's almost like you're blaming yourself now. You feel like there's something that you did wrong. That, because I think for some of you guys, this could have even been a pattern where you've dated like 1 or 2 people and they cheated on you, or something has came up where there again is this pattern that you see in relationships that are hindering you in trusting your own abilities to know what is right for you. Because I think in the past you saw all the red flags but you ignored it, and now it's like, man, I should have seen that coming. Why didn't I do that? I feel so stupid. And that's why. It's what's happening, is because you're getting over that lack. You're getting over that fear of what you believe was right for you. So let's pull some karma cards here. Let's see what kind of karma is coming up for my Pisces. What is being highlighted at this time? But I feel like good fortune is still coming your way, even though you're not noticing it or acknowledging it. I think, again, a lot of you guys, you're getting out of this uncomfortability. So we have Virgo. For a lot of you guys, the partner that you could have been with is a Virgo, or you could have had Virgo in your chart. But I am sensing for a lot of you guys, you overanalyze this situation so much. You have put so much thought and effort into this, and it started to cause a lot of you guys to be afraid, again, to put yourself out there. Part of you guys want to hide the parts that you feel are defective, that you feel are not lovable, and you meet people that are projecting onto you that you're not lovable, that you are not perfect, that there's work to be done, right? So it's almost like you feel broken because you feel broken because you've been around people who felt broken and they made you feel that way as well. Now, people can't make us feel any way, but people can influence how we feel. And I feel like this individual definitely had an influence on how you started to feel a little more towards yourself. But I also get that for a lot of you guys, maybe you felt cheated from, like, for instance, like you could have been cheated from a parent. Like maybe a parent was absent and you felt like a parent cheated. Maybe a parent did cheat on your parent, right? Maybe there's infidelity or something growing up, and you saw that and you believed that that's what relationships were. Maybe you were cheated out of friendships, cheated out of certain things, and so now there is this lack mentality, this sense of, what's the point? I'm this victim. Nobody's gonna love me. Nobody's gonna care about me. And that's the energy that you're carrying, whether you're conscious of it or not. And I feel that that is what is slowly transitioning and changing. We also have here Neptune. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're getting more in touch with yourself, but also it's like Neptune is all about sacrifices. It's all about seeing things, like having to see what is real and what's not. Sometimes Neptune can cloud the way that we view reality, the way that we see things. And for a lot of you guys, you've been telling yourself a story about yourself that's not true, that has been perpetuated for such a long time that you have now identified that that is who you are, and it is not. And that is that lower victim consciousness that needs to be corrected. And I feel like things and circumstances are coming up in your life currently that is changing that belief, that's making you question that story, and you guys are having to learn to work through it. I feel like you guys have been getting signs and signals from the universe that you know that you need to let go of certain things in your life that are no longer serving you, and you're having to take those steps. And that's going to help you no longer feel so much like a victim, knowing that you have a choice in situations that you are in. We also have the 10th house, and I feel like for a lot of you guys, your work situation has caused you guys to feel kind of like stagnant. You're not really happy where you are currently. You feel very trapped in your life and your everyday routine. Some of you guys feel like work is all you're focusing on, or that's all you're doing. There's something here about worrying about your foundation and how to survive, right? And yeah, see, money, resources, your what you have, the values. And again, it's changing that belief about what you think you deserve. You feel cheated in life, and so you feel cheated out of money, you feel cheated out of positions at work, you feel cheated out of relationships. And it's that victim mentality that you feel this lack, that you have no control, and you feel you're unworthy and that you're not lovable. So there's this part of you that feels very cheated or very unseen. We have Venus. So I feel like, again, love is coming up. A lot of you guys have shut down parts of yourself that is that romantic side, or the part of you that feels like you're not going to find anybody. It's like you're giving up on parts of yourself. You're not enjoying the pleasures of life. You're not going out there and experiencing things to the fullest. And then we have the 7th house here again. So like double confirmation that it has something to do with relationships, and it's to get a fair deal. I feel like a lot of you guys felt like relationships have been very unfair. But what is happening here is I feel like a lot of my Pisces, you're needing to insert yourself more. You're needing to tell people what you want and tell it like it is. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you have felt misunderstood and kind of alone. You feel like your partnerships, again, are not meeting you halfway. There's always some kind of resistance. You feel like you're always chasing after people. There's something here where there's this wound that you are afraid of being abandoned or rejected. And I feel like that wound has been coming up a lot for a lot of people, because when we feel stagnant, oftentimes we feel stagnant due to some part of ourself not being acknowledged, some part of us that's not wanting to see the clarity in which direction to go, because we're so clouded with guilt, or we're so clouded with judgments of others and ourselves, that it inhibits us to move forward. When we judge others, we confine ourselves in boxes, right? And when we believe, oh, I want justice and this person's bad, well, this person probably had a lot going on that we didn't know about, right? Everybody, it's almost like, if we think about it, there's always a villain in someone's story. And sometimes, Pisces, you might be a villain in someone else's story, just like they are in yours. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, that is kind of what's coming up, is it's like that victim, me versus you, me versus others. There's no you versus anybody. There's no you versus the universe or anything like that. It's you versus yourself. Because at this moment, that's what has been being perpetuated, is this sense of beating yourself down and keeping yourself and staying small like a victim, and not rising up to occasions, not allowing yourself to heal from this experience. Because when we feel like victims, there is a part of us that feels like we are that child again, that little innocent child that didn't get acknowledged and loved and nurtured. And because of that, it leads us to do things or to give away our power to those around us. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you get this sense of anxiety sometimes when dealing with people, because there's that sense of fear that they're going to betray you or hurt you in some way. I think a lot of you guys have been lied to, disappointed a lot throughout your life, and that has caused you guys to have a lot of imbalances in your connections and the way that you communicate and work with others. And I feel like that is being looked at and re-examined and changing due to the circumstances around you. You're going to start meeting people, Pisces, that are going to start showing you your beliefs and what is wrong and what is right, because a lot of you guys have this story that everybody around you is going to want to take advantage of you, or that people, a lot of people cannot be trusted with their motives. Like there's something there where there's this core wound that if you truly show yourself and who you are, then others are going to take advantage. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, that was your reality. And it might even still be currently that reality, but it's also that belief. And whatever we focus on, that's what grows, that's what changes. And so you guys are having to learn to re-look at your mental health and decide, is this reality? Is this really what I want? I have the choices and the power to make different decisions for myself. Maybe I can try to change to where I'm not always attracting the same types of people, right? It's like looking at, not everybody is going to hurt me or betray me. There's so many nice people in this world. If you're a good person, then clearly there's going to be other good people out there that can mirror back to you your desires and your wants, but not from a wounded place. And when you stay a victim, it's not doing you or anyone else around you a service. It's very low vibrational, and I feel like a lot of you guys have worked very hard to evolve and to change, and what is really hindering you at that time is just that victim mentality. And it's nothing wrong with that. I'm not like shaming anybody for feeling that way. We all have one point or another have felt like victims. I know I certainly have. And so I feel like for a lot of you guys, that is what's being processed through, is that belief that you are powerless to these people and to the circumstances around you. So I'm going to pull the last deck here. It is the Chakra Insight Oracle deck. We're going to see what my Pisces need to heal and just what is being processed or worked on currently at this time. So let's see what's going on for my Pisces. All right. So we have forgiveness, learning to let go and forgive yourself and to grow and heal. Because for a lot of you guys, you know, you're having a hard time forgiving those around you. But the reason I think a lot of you have a hard time is I think you guys feel guilty too. You feel guilty for blaming them or for hating on them. There's a part of you that feels like, oh, I'm really bad. There's resistance there because you feel that negativity towards the people that betrayed you. And what's happening there is it's that forgiveness in yourself that needs to take place. It's because you are upset at yourself for not being there for yourself, for not seeing the red flags, for allowing yourself to get hurt and betrayed. And it's like you beat yourself up over that. And that is one of the reasons you have such a hard time forgiving yourself and anyone else around you. And you also don't want to, it's almost like you push away those negative feelings towards other people too, because you don't want to think like, you don't want to feel like a negative person. You don't want to carry that rage or that resentment, right? And that bitterness and that spite that comes with feeling betrayed. But for a lot of you guys, those feelings are very real and very valid. And that is what's causing you to stay stuck, is because you do not want to express it, because a part of you feels like you're going to be a bad person, but you're not a bad person for feeling the way that you feel. And you have every right to feel that way. And you have every right to forgive yourself and let this go. I feel like a lot of you guys have punished yourselves enough, has caused your guys to withdraw from people, from friends. You have isolated parts of yourself more and more off because you feel this way. And a part of you feels so guilty about it, but you shouldn't feel guilty about how you're feeling. So we have communication. So for a lot of you guys, I feel like what you're going to be needing to do is, you don't necessarily have to communicate your forgiveness to other people. You know, forgiving other people, it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with them, even if it has a part, even if they had a part to play in that, right? A lot of times we feel like we have to communicate with others or tell people, oh, I forgive you, or all these different things, or we expect other people to come and apologize. And for a lot of you guys, that is something that you're needing to work through, is you don't need to communicate with the people that has hurt you. You need to communicate with yourself and how you are feeling and how you are processing what had taken place. And so I feel like for a lot of you guys, that is something that is coming up for you, is learning to trust that side of yourself, learning to forgive yourself for what has happened, and finding that self-expression. It's like having that exchange with yourself, being able to see different parts of you for what they truly are, and even the parts of you that you deem as bad or are ugly or unlovable, those parts are there to keep you safe. They're there for a reason. And our emotions, each emotion deserves to be respected and acknowledged and seen and heard. And I feel like that is what's happening for you guys at this time. We also have inspiration. So I feel like a lot of you guys are going to start getting ideas, and you guys are going to start getting like impulses to do things. And I feel like what is going to be driving that is that sense of desire. I think a lot of you guys have pushed back desires that you've had in your life, those pleasures, those things that bring you joy, because you feel like you do not have the right to accomplish those goals or have the fulfillment that you need to accomplish it. And I feel like a lot of you guys have squashed down your desires for so long, and I feel like things are going to start coming up for you guys. And I think relationships is a big key. It's the way you communicate with your relationships, and it's that building that self-esteem, right? A lot of you guys have had low self-esteem, which was impacting the way that you communicated with those around you and the way that your relationships have manifested. And I feel like the reason that your relationships have gone the way that they have is because a lot of you guys, again, at such a young age, you were taught that it didn't matter what you wanted or what you felt at that time. You just have to deal with what you get, and you don't throw a fit, right? It's like, get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And a part of you felt like a victim, like you felt like you were denied what you knew was best for you, or you were denied what you knew would make you happy truly. And I think a lot of you guys, you have really pushed parts of yourself down and those desires down for so long that I feel like they are starting to come up, and you are starting to say, well, I do want real fulfilling relationships. I do want to have this much amount of money. I do want to have this. I do want to have that. But there's this shroudness of guilt. There's this part of you that feels, oh, I don't deserve it. Or what if, I let down my partners? Or what if they hurt me or betray me? There's something there, Pisces, that is being acknowledged. And it's everything that is happening in your life right now, which feels like some conflict from turmoil. For some of you guys, you are processing and going through a breakup currently. You're going through so much, and it's inspiring you to change. It's causing you to wake up and say, what type of people am I allowing in my life? What is it that's possible for me? What can I accomplish? And everything that has been going on throughout this is causing you guys to make a final decision, to make a choice, to give yourself that opportunity to love yourself and to treat yourself right. And I feel like that's something that is really starting to change and shift for you guys. So what I see that's coming in is being able to finally forgive yourself from a past hurt, a past situation that wasn't even entirely your fault. I feel like you had a part to play, of course, but there's always other people's parts to play. And sometimes we don't understand other people's motives. Sometimes we don't get the closure that we feel like we deserve. But a lot of the times it's knowing that we've done the best that we could, and that we need to just move forward in what is best for us. And I feel like that is something that is being processed and that you've been working through and going through at your time in your life, and it's leading you up to this point so that you can find the true person that is right for you, that you can find somebody that is good for you. And say you're in a connection now and it's going great, but you're just getting all of these self-sabotaging habits that's coming back up from a past connection. A lot of you guys need to communicate that with your partner and express that and say, look, I had an exes that cheated on me, I had all these things happen to me, and I'm afraid that you're going to do the same, and I get jealous, and I get this, and explain yourself. And if that person can acknowledge that and understand that and is willing to see that and find ways to work with you on that, then that person is a keeper. That person's there for you. But if that person gets angry or frustrated with you, that's not the right person for you. And so I feel like that is what's happening, is you guys are testing the waters. You guys are discovering who is and isn't right for you. You guys are going to start following and finding people that resonate with with you. And it's all due to having to go through these betrayal and this sense of lack and this feeling that you need to forgive yourself. Once you start to forgive yourself, it's going to start taking you down a whole new path that's going to lead you to a bigger, brighter future. And I feel like now things are going to start shifting it for you, especially your relationships. So that's what I have for my Pisces. Hopefully this resonated and helped you in some way. If you guys like to leave a like, a comment, or even a subscribe, everything helps me. I really appreciate it all. You guys have a great and wonderful day, Pisces. Bye.